Hello and welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
And right on time this week, if not a little bit early, to make up for last week. But we have iVampire number 18. This one is the second to last issue for the iVampire series, written by Joshua Hale Filecoff and drawn, of course, by Fernando Blanco. What do you think about this second to last issue? A lot more death, a lot more of the Earth at stake.
It had Constantine in it.
Constantly in your issues. Huh?
I am tired of Constantine. I hope he dies. I really hope he dies. It was a filler for me. I mean, I know we're leading up to the end. There was a lot going on. There was, oh, heaven and hell are here, and it turns out you're evil because you got all these vampires. Here, let me take all the vampires out of you, and now I brought back my love, and now your love is back too, and now this... There was a lot going on.
Yeah, it was all over the place, and suddenly Andrew was good too.
Right. I wish, and I know they got canceled, but this should have been at least 3 issues, in my opinion.
Yeah, when it doesn't sell, they give them a deadline, and this is what the writer decided to go with.
Yeah.
With more Constantine.
Hate Constantine. Next up on the DC side, we have Talon number 6, written by Scott Snyder, drawn by James Tynion IV.
It's actually written by both Scott Snyder and by James Tynion IV. It's actually drawn by Guillaume March.
I lied, I'm sorry. This was a good issue, though. I haven't been too thrilled with Talon thus far, but this one was really good.
Yeah, it was probably one of the better issues of the Talon series thus far.
Mm-hmm. I would say, I think number 0 was my favorite. I think this was a close second. Especially what they reveal at the end. It's like mind blown.
And there is an appearance by Batman in this. And I really just want to see Batman go after the Gotham Butcher and bring him down.
You didn't even care about this great revelation. You just cared that Batman was in it.
Yeah, there was a great revelation. I'm sure that'll twist again in the next issue where this revelation, the person that you think is evil is going to be like, no, actually, I'm trying to get money, but blah, 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 or something rather. But it's still a good twist, and I think it's going in a great direction because this is what the Court of Owls should be about, the Talon series. It's about deception, it's about trying to escape them, but you can never escape them because Gotham is not what you think it is, and that's what Batman discovered in the Court of Owls.
Right, it was a really good issue. Definitely pick it up.
Next is Batman the Dark Knight, number 18. This continues the Mad Hatter storyline. Written by Greg Hurwitz, and of course drawn by Ethan Van Sciver. You finally get around to the true origin of the Mad Hatter. And I thought it was done really well. We finally see the twist or the churn to where Mad Hatter finally went full evil and crazy. Mm-hmm. And he confronts the Batman really, truly for the first time. And of course, Batman is surprised and taken aback. But you finally find out what Mad Hatter is up to this whole time, what his ultimate goal is.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really, really good issue. I thought Batman was out of character at the end. We do see a little bit of Batman and Catwoman. I was happy with that. But I felt the Jervis Tech story is so strong. And as much as I love Batman, I felt the Batman bits were a little out of place. Especially at the very end. Batman, we've seen him reveal himself in like the movies. Never really in the animated series to someone that doesn't really know who he is other than Robin, of course, Tim Drake. But when you see it happen in the comic books, it is out of character for Batman because Batman would forever choose to end the relationship with someone that he might have had a connection with over revealing himself to them to be Batman and compromising his position. It kind of had me wondering a little bit, though. Is he under technology? What do you mean? Do you think it could be? Like maybe under mind control or something? Yeah. That could be a way that they also wipe it as well, where he could just be like, I was under control. I don't know how I found myself at the Batcave, and I stole his bat plane. I guess. Yeah, exactly. But it seems so out of character for him to be like, no, let's just do this. Overall, though, it was a very strong issue. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot as well. The birth of the Mad Hatter. I might even say that that's my pick of the week. That wouldn't be my pick of the week. Mine is actually this next one. Batman Incorporated number 9, written by Acid Trip Grant Morrison and drawn by Chris Burnham. This was a very good issue as well, but it was still Acid Trip Grant Morrison. I love the way it opened. I love all the Batman bits. It opens where you see a plot for Robin's coffin, essentially, and they're carrying it in, and Batman's all beat up and looking terrible like you would expect Batman to look right now. But then you have jumping around with all the other Batman Inc. people, and I just wasn't feeling them. Bat Knight Lady. Well, just like Grant Morrison's previous issues, it is one of those that jumps around
It is like a dream, but like you mentioned, the NASA trip. I did finally get to see two things that I wanted to see, and they don't completely resolve in this issue, but they are there for me, of course. Only for me.
Only for you.
It's Batman fighting with Damian's clone, and really gives it to him. Hits him in the eyes. You see blood all over there, and you see him kind of lose in a way to Damian's older clone, but he gets saved by Robin the First, in other words, Nightwing.
Robin the First.
And then it cuts back to Damian's funeral, and you do see Batman finally give Alfred the tongue lashing that I was looking for. It is more subtle, but he says, "Alfred, you allowed Damian to leave the cave against my express instructions. Take a This is what I like. Take a vacation, Alfred. We'll talk when this is over. Sir, I take a vacation." And it's like, Alfred is sad, and everyone's sad for Alfred, but at the same time, Alfred has always earned a vacation, so I'm like, well, good. He needs a vacation.
He finally got a vacation.
Well, no, Dan. Batman is really upset at him. Yeah, but he does still need a vacation. Regardless of whether or not Damian died, he still should have gotten a vacation at the end of all this.
That's so silly. Now, this was a very sad issue. I think part of the reason it bothered me, I think, was the jumping around. Justice League of America does such a great job with jumping back and forth into different moments in time. Acid Trip Grant Morrison does not. He trips on some acid and then he goes, and then this is gonna happen! And he just doesn't make it work well.
The other part that I really liked about it too, and I think this, for me, I am now okay with Talia, and I feel Batman should be as well.
You were never not okay with Talia. There was never a moment when you were like, I hate Talia because now she's ordered this guy to kill her son. You're going, oh, look, she has tears. She feels bad about it.
She did feel bad, and she does feel bad about Damian.
You were never not okay with Talia, so let's retract that statement.
I'm not going to retract it because I was still upset that she could have stopped this the entire time, and she didn't. From the past issue, it seems like she was observing this entire fight, and she refused to stop it. And then you learn in this one, she yells at Damian's older clone and says, "You killed Damian. You killed him before I gave an order." And the whole time it makes it seem like she never wished for Damian to truly be killed.
Well, she may never have wished it, but she still let it happen.
And just like Alfred let it happen by him leaving the cave.
But that's
just like
different,
Batman let it happen
Alfred.
by letting him be Robin.
That's different because he's Batman. Talia is a terrible mother and a terrible person.
I'm just saying I'm okay with Talia now.
You were never not
She
okay
needs to explain that to Batman.
Never not okay with
My pick of the week. Did we get to your pick of the week yet?
Yeah, I just said it.
Talon, number 6?
No.
Batman The Dark Knight, number 18.
Yes, that was my pick of the week.
Next one is Bart Simpson, number 81. One of the scripters for this was Ari Kaplan, and that's the first part of it is Who the Bartman. The schoolyard kids are all trying to figure out what Bartman actually looks like, and they all have their imagination. It runs wild. Bartman reveals himself to them, and they said, no, that's not actually what Bartman looks like. That's the end of that first bit. Literally, that's it.
But no, I really liked it because it was humorous. It had touches of...
Wolverine and Batman?
Yeah. It had touches of all of those, and then you had your Twilight reference in there, and I thought it was really cute. I think that was my favorite of the stories.
My favorite of the stories was the second one, The Todd and the Rodacy. The script was by Mike W. Barr.
That one was not my favorite.
Rod and Todd are running around the city, and they're afraid because they think it's the apocalypse, and they run into all these weird Springfieldians. Some they think are zombies, others they think it's the afterlife, and temptresses when they run into the sewer, and they see that old dancer from the first season, I think, of The Simpsons, first or second season. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it's the one where Homer went to like the gentleman's club and took a picture with the stripper, the lady dancer.
I don't know if I remember that one.
Well, the picture goes around work, goes around Springfield, and he goes anywhere, and he's recognized as the guy. Like, he's driving down on the road, and these, like, college girls all see him, and they're like, hey, and they start dancing. And he's like, oh, I still got it. He doesn't realize that it's because they're making fun of him in that picture. Mm-hmm. Well, she was in there. I thought that was a cool reference. And then the final story, Maggie's Pancakes, that one, the story and art were by Carol Leigh. Another one of those that was just like, I don't know. It's just okay. Maggie's imagination. I like the stories where Maggie's actually running around doing things, not just inside Maggie's head.
I still like Who the Bartman. I don't know. That was my favorite one. It had some cool references.
Still better than most of the Simpsons comics. And as you notice, this is why we're starting to get the Bart Simpsons again. Mm-hmm. It is better than the Simpsons.
I agree. And finally, we have Superman Family Adventures, number 11, written by Art Baltazar, drawn by James Franco.
James Franco. He draws now.
I know this is one of your favorite series, just about to end.
Oh, yeah.
How many more issues do we have?
I think there's 2 or 3 left. There's not much.
It was pretty good. I don't know. It's not one of my favorites, but I know you really like it.
I loved Ma Kent in it.
Ma Kent was hilarious.
Kicked ass, and I think they should replace the Superman books with Ma Kent because she can take care of Doomsday and Brainiac and any one of them better than Superman.
That was really, really funny.
She slaps him on the wrist and says, "Go home." Nope, we're
goes,
done. Go home.
But Kal-El.
You leave Kal-El alone and leave. And he does, and he sits on a curb, and he thinks about what he did.
And then Grundy shows up, and he's like, "Do you need a friend? Ma Kent slapped me on a wrist." And he's like, "Aw." And she was wearing a Superman shirt, too. It was, that part was really good, yes.
And it looks like the final issue, or whatever the next one is, it might be the final one, I can't remember, I gotta look it up. They're gonna have Lex Luthor teaming up with Darkseid, which would be a great final issue, but Ma Kent's gotta be in there and kicking ass too.
I hope so. They just need Ma Kent family adventures.
A couple other things that I did see in the previews catalog for this month was Superman Unchained, drawn by Jim Lee and written by Scott Snyder.
So
immediately
excited.
Going in my pull list. And the other one is actually Superman Batman. Not only will that provide more opportunities for Superman being gay for Batman and more moments in which we can be like, oh, look, Superman was so in love with Batman in this scene. Oh, he's only thinking about Batman. It's drawn by Jay Lee, who did the Before Watchmen Ozymandias series.
Yeah, I'm really excited for those. There's
like a life-size scale of the yellow battery. When you hold the ring up to it, it actually lights up. They did one previously for the Green Lantern,
pretty cool.
Which is pretty awesome. So there was some cool stuff in the previews catalog.
Talking about upcoming comics, too, we read some news on the internet adding to the Justice League, Justice Batman Beyond, all that fun stuff. We're going to have a Batgirl Beyond.
Yes.
Coming out soon. Very excited for that. Speaking of Dustin Nguyen, we have Little Gotham. Coming out as well. I'm really excited for that. Love Dustin Nguyen's art.
Yeah, he'll be leaving the Batman Beyond Unlimited book, and I'm sure he's going to focus on Little Gotham and some other projects. But Kyle Higgins will be jumping on Batman Beyond Unlimited, and he's a huge fan of Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond, so we can only speculate what kind of stuff he's going to bring into the series. People like the Nightwing book. People are going to like the Batman Beyond and what he's going to bring into it. We're sad Dustin Nguyen is going to be doing less on the book, if anything at all, but I'm personally happy that Kyle's on it.
Yeah. Me as well. Do you have any theories on who Batgirl is?
She's going to have to be, I don't know, I don't want to say she's tied into Barbara Gordon or any other Gordons in any way.
It did say she was she worked closely with her.
Okay. Well, I still don't know. I have no idea. We still don't really know who the Catwoman is.
Right.
Do we?
No, not yet. She just kind of disappeared for the last few issues.
Yeah. They tried to make a romance between her and Terry McGinnis Batfake.
But he's with Dana, so.
Yeah. And that's fine.
Yeah, I guess that's okay. So she should get with old Bruce.
That'd be fine. I'd be okay with that.
He's still got it.
And also, there are rumors that Cartoon Network is going to get together in April, and they're going to discuss the Green Lantern the Animated Series and Young Justice, whether or not it's going to be brought back.
I'm so excited!
It is just a rumor, so we'll see if anything comes out of it at all.
There better be something, like at least a movie. Like Finding Aya. Let's just call it Finding Aya.
Like you said, have a Kickstarter and do
Absolutely.
a 2-hour movie.
I would pay like $40.
Yeah.
Here's my money. Let me throw it at you. $40 and then they send the Blu-ray to your house.
Yeah, it's more than worth it.
Yes. I would do it.
And also there was another bit of news that I'm trying to touch up on. I completely forgot. It slipped my mind.
Was it Bruce Timm stepping down?
Yes. Yes, Bruce Timm is stepping down from the DC animated movies as producer. He will no longer be producer. He was initially going to step down to work on Green Lantern, the animated series.
Aww.
That never happened. That got canceled, of course. And instead, he's going to work on some personal projects. Now, the new guy taking over, I think his name is James Tucker. He was director for Batman Beyond, Static Shock, Batman Brave and the Bold. He says that we've had enough Justice League, Batman, and Superman movies, that he wants to use those characters to instead make movies about other DC, the lesser-known ones.
I would be okay with Swamp Thing. They've been pushing real hard for Vibe to come back, and I'm just not vibing.
Well, Well, that's Jeff Johns. He loves bringing those characters,
But
giving them life
no,
again.
I'm not feeling vibe.
And he also said that he doesn't want to do any more adaptions from big comic book stories. He wants to do all original work. I think he should do a mix of the two. I think every now and again, you still got Superman Red Sun that you can put into an animated movie.
Be amazing.
You can do Batman Hush. You can do the Court of Owls. There is so much material there.
Court of Owls would be really, really cool.
That'd be a great full real action thing.
I could play an owl because I have the costume. Hey guys, I'm here to be in the movie. I made my own costume.
I mean, the movies have been great. I hope this doesn't affect the quality of them because they are better than any of the Marvel.
Anything Marvel's put out.
Yeah, any of the Marvel animated movies or the full feature ones. I'm sorry, I'm not as crazy about the Avengers as everyone else is. Sorry, it just wasn't that good.
It wasn't.
Or Iron Man.
Subscriber count went down to 1. My brother.
It'll go down when I say I didn't like Iron Man either.
I never saw the Iron Man.
Now there's thumbs down as well.
No, I never saw the Iron Man movies.
But we did see Phoenix Wright.
Yes!
Ace Attorney, the movie. We finally got around to getting a copy.
Yes!
Yeah, we saw it in Japanese with English subtitles.
It was so good.
Most faithful adaptation to a video game in terms of a film that I've ever seen.
Except for Pokemon.
Even Pokemon, the movie.
Pokemon, the movie was great.
I wouldn't call it great.
Did you not cry when Ash died?
When I first saw it.
Okay, then it was great. Did you cry in this movie?
No.
Exactly, so...
All the characters that did look exactly like their video game counterparts.
They did, it was great.
Their hair was perfect. Some of the casting choices I would have redone.
Like who?
Von Karma.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he was spooky.
Yeah, if you see him in the video game, he's kind of big. He's more imposing. This guy's kind of chubby and short. I think he's shorter than Phoenix.
Probably.
So I didn't much care for that. But other than that, Edgeworth and Phoenix were as well as you can cast them. Again, their hair was fine. She looked like Maya.
What's her name? Mia?
Yeah.
She didn't look like she did in the game.
She was a lot older in the movie.
Yeah, and she didn't have as many assets as in the game. But I think it worked better for the movie.
And then Larry Butts was hilarious.
Hilarious.
That was a great casting choice.
Yeah.
And then Gumshoe, he wasn't as dumb as he is in the video games.
He wasn't as thick either.
Yeah, he was a really thin guy.
But I thought he was still cool. Very in love with Edgeworth, too.
He could have also been recast, along with Von Karma. But that's just me. And there wasn't enough Edgeworth yelling at Gumshoe either, which would have been cool, too.
I did like the judge. I thought he was a very good casting choice. Santa Judge.
But they didn't write him as like the game either, where he was kind of dumb and listening to whoever yelled the loudest, pretty much. But it was still a good casting choice, I agree. And he had that beard, which looked perfect, too.
That Yogi guy. You know who I'm talking about?
The guy, from the final case.
He was so spooky.
He was spooky. He had a great backstory to him, and they told it well, just really like they did in the game, with his wife, how he trained the parrot to say, I love you, because he feels guilty about her killing herself because he was not guilty in the previous case that Edgeworth's dad was in. I mean, you have to really follow it and watch it. But he was written to be a tragic character, again, like in the game. Mm-hmm. So fans of the Phoenix Wright game, absolutely watch it.
Right. I love that they stayed very true to the game, and it had its funny moments, but it was very cinematically filmed as well. Like when Edgeworth was in the jail cell and talking about the night that his father died. It's the glass that he's looking through becomes the screen, and then you fade into the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some good directing choices. There were some odd ones, too. Some editing.
I loved the first case. Okay, whoever's played the game, when you win a case, there's confetti everywhere.
Yeah.
So the very first courtroom sort of scene, it's Phoenix defending his friend Larry Butts. Mm-hmm. And it's in this little dingy something. There's laundry hanging up all over the place, and he wins. And so they take scraps of paper and they just throw it at him. That was my favorite. Like
at first we thought it was just like a parody reference of the game, but in the actual big time expensive courtroom, confetti does come down. Mm-hmm. And exactly like the game. You have the same camera angle with the not guilty words
Popping
up there.
Up.
It was a good movie. I highly recommend it.
I do as well. That's my pick of the week.
So to summarize, my pick of the week this week was Batman Incorporated. Yours was?
Batman Dark Knight.
Did you have a pass of the week?
I don't know. I mean,
I would go with I, Vampire, simply for the
that
disorganized nature of the book, and I'm sure that, again, that has to do with its cancellation.
right. That would be mine too. I would say that's my pass of the week, but you're so close to the end. Just finish it. Just suck it
It's
up
over.
and finish
Just like
it.
us in Comedian.
Yeah.
The Four Watchmen.
Ugh. Terrible. But yeah, that would have been my pass of the week as well. But I think that'll do it for this week. Sorry it was a short one. Not a whole lot came out. We'll see if we can beef it up for next week.
Right. Don't forget, we're on Twitter at Reasons I'm Broke. Let us know what made you broke this week. Hashtag Reasons I'm Broke.
We're also up on YouTube. We have an unboxing of my Pikachu 3DS XL. Amazing system. Definitely check that out.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we're on iTunes as well. If you could look us up, rate us, review, and that'll help other people find us as well.
Yep. We have the Dead Space 1 still up there. We haven't added more to it, but it is there. Once we get more views and see if people really enjoy them, maybe we'll do another one. That will do it for this week. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelli.
See you next week. Thank you for listening.